Really?
This is really bad. It's been a brutal week in the NHL. Toronto Maple Leafs played Ottawa on the weekend, and Ottawa beat them in Toronto. And in the final seconds, puck came out to center ice. Ottawa player picked it up, going in, open net. Normally, you just chip it, goes into the open net, game is over.
Mm-hmm.
Leafs had pulled the goalie trying to catch up. Instead, this Ottawa player took 2 strides and he cranked up a slap shot. I mean, a bullet into the open net. That kind of violates the code. Isn't that kind of like piling on? Anyhow, he scores the goal. He turns to come back towards the bench. Toronto's defenseman, Morgan Riley, who's big, physical, stay-at-home guy, not a goon, comes flying across the ice. And he cross-checks Greg, the Ottawa player, into the boards, hit him right in the neck. So anyhow, he gets suspended for 5 games without pay, and he's appealing it right now. The outpouring of emotion from the Leafs after the game just kind of blew my mind. Amongst the quotes, it was appropriate that Morgan Riley come across the ice and hit this guy. This guy violated the code. He was showboating. Morgan Riley is a stand-up guy. He stood up for our team. I couldn't believe it. I mean, this was open ice, nobody around him. Riley must have taken 5 strides to go from center ice to the boards and crank this guy in the neck. Guy didn't even know what was happening. And his neck snapped and all that. I wonder what Leafs players would say if their superstar, Austin Matthews, had scored an empty netter and was going back to the bench to celebrate a victory, and he got clocked. What would the Leafs then be saying? Would they say it was appropriate? Would they salute the other guy on the other team for being a stand-up guy and taking out the Leafs captain? What I wanted to see happen was the RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, show up with an arrest warrant in the Leaf locker room and charge Morgan Riley with assault with a deadly weapon. He used his stick to hit the guy in the throat. I'm sorry, I'm a big hockey fan, but I just kind of lost it on that. And then there was a second incident. They've had a lot of controversy in Columbus with the Blue Jackets. Their star goal scorer, Patrick Laine, has left the team. He's had a bunch of injury issues. He's gone into the NHL substance program. I don't know whether it's alcohol or whether he's battling depression. He's just not the same player. He scored 40 goals one time with the Winnipeg Jets, and I think he was a superstar. He's just had a lot of trouble in Columbus. Anyhow, people on podcast and social media theorized that Patrick Laine should commit suicide because he's played so poorly. And he's obviously got some mental health issues. And they talked about Laine and suicide without any basis to have that conversation. I was appalled. The NHL union is appalled. The Columbus Blue Jackets are furious. And Laine has absolutely denied emphatically that was ever part of the conversation. That's why he stepped away to go get mental health issues. I think he's battling depression. Maybe it's alcohol. But at the end of the day, God, what a sick thing for somebody to say that you should commit suicide. Just, I don't understand it whatsoever. So, yeah, kind of a crappy week covering hockey for sure.
Yeah, there's always some jagoff on social media that says stupid stuff like that just to get attention.
Think?
Yeah, I think it's more a reflection on how they feel about themselves. But, just going back to, the whole situation with that guy getting blindsided, it's just ridiculous. I mean, this is an open net. This is a game. It's entertainment. And if this guy wants to hit a slap shot and just, fire a bullet in there, what's the problem with that? How is that disrespectful to the other team? I don't get it.
He violated the code.
Yeah, it's all these BS unwritten rules.
Yeah, was it written in the rule book about that?
Yeah, when Ben Davis dropped down that bun on the perfect game for Kurt Schilling, I thought that was clever and creative. And boy, that ruffled a bunch of feathers, a bunch of these old school, ball players.
All right, you're a hockey fan. Hey, Hockey Hotline is open. Join us on Fans Forum. Last topic on the